Hey guys, Barky here and welcome back to another Iceberg video. In this video we'll be covering Tier 3 of the Five Nights at Freddy's Iceberg, so strap in, grab yourself another Coke Zero, and let's get started. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video. Freddy, you're supposed to be on lockdown. This entry refers to a quote from Security Breach in which Officer Vanessa is talking to Glamrock Freddy. She says, "Freddy, you're supposed to be on lockdown," and Freddy says, "Officer Vanessa, I do not know how I got here." And thus a meme is born. Group hug and the thank you teaser source code. If you open up the thank you teaser photo and notepad referenced in the previous tier, in the code you will find the words group hug, and not really sure of its relevance other than the photo in question being of all the FNAF characters in a group. The wall in the hall changes to a bloody writing that says "It's me." In FNAF 1, there was a small chance of the player witnessing an Easter egg in which the wall in the hall, as seen through a camera, suddenly has bloody writing on it that says "It's me." The show will begin momentarily, everyone please stay in your seats. In FNAF World, Circus Baby has a line that goes, "The show will begin momentarily, everyone please stay in your seats." And some people claim she says this because of some sort of accident that happened because someone didn't stay in their seat. You don't know what we've been through. This was a line said at the end of Sister Location in the trailer, and it is unknown who says it, but it's theorized to be Biddy Bab. And some people have said that this was a scrapped line to be put into the game, but scrapped for unknown reasons after being in the trailer. And this line presumably alluded to the scooping of Elizabeth, as the Biddy Babs would have been witnesses, or just the bad events in general that happened in that location. Pizzeria. In both FNAF 1 and 2, the newspaper screens got revised. In FNAF 1, it was for a typo. Pizzeria was spelled as Pizzeria with an A, and then the phone number change, and in 2, it was only the phone number. Programming characters teasers. These were teasers that were leading up to the release of Ultimate Custom Night as a way of showing the progress of Scott adding characters, not including Dee Dee's bonus characters. Real and fake ending text, Sister Location. Sister Location has two endings, one is real and the other is fake. In the bad or real ending, Baby will lead the player to the scooping room, pretending that they are being followed by Ballora. But if the player gets jump scared, it is actually Innard who jump scares the player, not Ballora. However, when the player reaches the scooping room, they will see the mangled bodies of the animatronics on the floor and Innard behind the window. Innard will apologize for lying to the player, explaining that she had no choice, before disemboweling them with the scooper. The screen turns black, which shows a cutscene of a bathroom mirror. The shadowy figure of the player will limp in front of the mirror, opening his eyes to reveal purple irises. The credits roll, and this ending features the words, "The End" in red. To access the good or fake ending, the player must gain the second star achieved by completing Circus Baby's minigame. This gives the player an access card which unlocks the private room, and the player must then start Night 5, but after returning to Funtime Auditorium, the player must disobey Baby, ignoring her instructions, and go forward and left, not stopping until they hear the female AI voice say "Access granted," which takes the player to a room similar to the FNAF 1 office. Hand Unit then tells the player that they will be rescued at 6 AM and promptly fired. Hand Unit shuts off, leaving the player to fend Innard off from the left and right doors and the front vent. Unlike other games, there are no lights, meaning that the player must use the monitor to keep tabs on his whereabouts. And Innard will start out slowly but gain speed with every passing in-game hour, and each hour is a minute and a half, making the night a total of 9 minutes long, and from 12 to 3, Innard will speak to the player with Circus Baby's voice, or from 4 to 5, it will change to the voice of William Afton's daughter, pleading the player to let them in. If the player manages to keep Innard out until 6 AM, the player will return to their home and watch another episode of The Immortal and the Restless, and after the show ends, Innard will drag itself in front of the television with its right eye flashing. The screen cuts to black, and the credits roll with "The End" written in blue. Character Simulator. Examples being Chica Simulator and Bonnie Simulator. These are fan games in which you move around the camera by clicking on them to then get into the office to kill the night guard. Killing him will earn you points, leading to you being able to get other animatronic skins or extras. And many of these games are pretty cheap, as they basically use all the assets from FNAF 1 in the gameplay aspect besides the menus. 10 teaser countdown to FNAF 3. For no apparent reason, the Guess Who had a big 10 on it that appeared when brightened, and much later, Scott was asked about this and explained that there was going to be a countdown of 10 teasers leading up to the game's release. 3 a.m. videos. This entry refers to those absurd YouTube videos you see with people appealing to gullible fan bases by titling their videos things like "Calling Freddy Fazbear at 3 a.m. gone wrong, almost died," or "Going on a date with Chica at 3 a.m. 5120 mode. As a joke to annoy Daco, Scott has said that he would add another character to make it 5120 mode, and this obviously never ended up being true, and he just added DD with the 6 bonus animatronics. A Storm Brews. This refers to the song used in the FNAF 3 trailer, which is super cool and sounds amazing. You should definitely check it out. FNAF AAA game. The Five Nights at Freddy's AAA game is an upcoming project relating to the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. It is currently in development and is said to be a multiplayer game, and as of August 5th, 2019, Scott Cawthon updated his upcoming project's mega thread on Steam with info on the game. Quote, "AAA game, 0%. A deal has been signed with Universal to create a AAA multiplayer game. They've had a few setbacks getting started, but hopefully they will get it worked out soon. And there were some really cool ideas for it." This post was updated again on September 29th, 2019 and said the following, quote, "AAA game, cancelled. Well, not really. There has been a shakeup for this project. I'm actually not at liberty to discuss some details, but I'm taking control of this one and feel a lot better about its direction. This won't get started until late 2020, however." Afton's experiment. This experiment consists in keeping the child inside an ordinary bedroom, only to have them surviving against horrendous robots coming from each side trying to bite the flesh out of them. This could be thought of due to the Easter egg of the cameras and sister location custom night. Alexander 133. Alexander 133, or 133 Alexander, is an artist on DeviantArt. His profile reads, "Hello, I'm Alexander. I'm 18 years old. Birthday is July 23rd. I want to present my works dedicated to FNAF speed edits. I hope that people who come here will be pleased to see my works, which appear here very often. I always try to do only good work for you. In particular, do what you ask me to do. So go to my channel, he links the channel, and leave comments. I will definitely read them and make a couple of notes for myself. Subscribe and write your satisfied comments if, of course, you like the video, and I very much hope for your support." Andrew John 100. Andrew John 100 is a YouTuber who almost exclusively makes FNAF videos. His most popular videos include the Freddy Fazbear and Friends series, with episode titles such as Freddy's Knee Trouble, The Bunny Rat, and Bonnie's Guitar. Animation Time's Final Fights. This entry refers to another YouTube channel called Animation Time. They make videos where they animate FNAF characters and make them fight, and through subtext you can determine the rough storyline they're trying to convey. Autobiography of a Yogi. The backwards phone call in FNAF 1 is actually speech, it's not just garbled sounds. It is of Scott reading the book Autobiography of a Yogi, written by Paramahansa Yogananda. It is an autobiography on his life and encounters with spiritual figures. There is no reason known for Scott to have chosen this random book for the call. Baby's Nightmare Circus. Baby's Nightmare Circus is a small fan game based on the popular franchise Five Nights at Freddy's. The game's description on GameJolt says, "This time, you've gotten lost in your mind. You're trapped, unable to wake up and remember. Best guess is to defend yourself in your dreadful sleep. Use your flashlight to ward off unwanted creatures. Venture into tents to explore. Find a way out." Baby's split personality. This refers to Circus Baby's personality change between Sister Location and Pizzeria Simulator. User/peanutbutterjellyart on Reddit describes it this way, quote, "If there's one thing that always bothered me about Scrap Baby, it's her sudden out-of-nowhere personality change. I did a little bit of thinking and then it hit me. Baby changed because Elizabeth is no longer a part of her anymore. Now before you say that doesn't make sense, please take a moment to read what I have. As you recall, on the final night of Sister Location, Baby had Michael remove a small chip from her. And Baby told him there was something bad, and made it clear that she wanted it out of her. Maybe the chip was what contained Elizabeth's soul. It seems that Baby's AI still has sentience herself, and she can recall memories from before she killed Elizabeth. So more than likely, Baby and Elizabeth coexist as sort of a Jekyll and Hyde situation. Because of this, if Baby was behind the whole inner plan, Elizabeth could be against it, or whether or not she knows Michael is her brother. So, Elizabeth was holding Baby back from executing the plan. So as a way to get rid of Elizabeth, she had Michael remove her, claiming that it was something bad. Balloon Boy's Jump Scare. Although Balloon Boy is often a nuisance, he is not aggressive and he is the only animatronic that does not directly attack the player. Thus, he is the only animatronic without a jump scare prior to Five Nights at Freddy's AR special delivery. Baddington's VHS tapes. Baddington is an animation YouTuber known for making horror animations based off of Squimpus McGrimpus's FNAF VHS tapes, and also making an original animation horror series called Harmony and Horror around 2021. Baddington decided to announce that he will be remaking Squimpus McGrimpus's FNAF VHS tape series. The most notable videos remade are Sound Response Check, Pirate Cove Pre-Show, and Non-Existent Video, while the former being the most viewed with 6 million views. Balloon Boy's laugh used in Cocomelon. The sound Scott had used for Balloon Boy's laugh in FNAF 2 is actually a stock sound effect, and since it is a stock sound effect, it's used in many places, and one of these being Cocomelon. This was brought to attention due to a short video created by CG5 in which he vibes to the Cocomelon until he screams when he hears the sound effect. Big Chungus. People relate the different Bonnie variants to Big Chungus for some reason. BioWorld. BioWorld is a company which creates merchandise for the different pieces of pop culture, as they say on their homepage. Their merchandise is well known for being lackluster in quality, and the most iconic piece of FNAF merchandise they made is a shirt that features 3 low-quality and incorrectly colored versions of Freddy, Bonnie, and Foxy. Blacklight Slime. Blacklight Slime products are slime toys released on September 11th, 2020 in stores like GameStop and Hot Topic by Just Toys. They are blacklight colored slime materials sold in small plastic cans and come with lids designed after each toy's respective animatronic. Blow Up Costumes. I'm pretty sure this refers to the various inflatable costumes you can buy online of the FNAF characters. They are kinda creepy. Bonnie is a girl. Zanimation is a YouTube channel that creates animations based on popular media. They've notably done FNAF, Among Us, and Minecraft. Bonnie as a Girl is a reference to one of their videos having that title and being about Bonnie meeting a girl version of himself, only for her to be taken away by Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine. Bonnie is a remodel of Freddy. This refers to the fact that Scott Cawthon had said in this interview with Daco that he modeled Bonnie by remodeling Freddy for FNAF 1. Bonnie running. In the FNAF 1 trailer uploaded to Scott's channel, Bonnie can be seen doing many things he does not do in the game, like taking his suit head off to reveal his endoskeleton head, him looking at the camera along with Freddy and Chica, and finally running down a hallway. Bonnie running was probably a placeholder for Foxy, as he had not had his model ready, or as a cover-up for Foxy to surprise players with different mechanics. Both FNAF 3 endings are canon. This entry refers to the fact that some people theorize that both endings are canon and compatible with each other. Okay, for this to make sense, I need to explain both endings. The bad ending goes like this. If the player progresses through the game normally, then after the Night 5 minigame ends, the player will be taken to a screen featuring the illuminated heads of Freddy Fazbear, Foxy, Chica, and Bonnie in that order, lying on the floor, symbolizing that the souls of William Afton's victims are still trapped inside the animatronic suits. A 5th head can be seen silhouetted in the background, which is widely speculated to be Golden Freddy's head. The bad ending goes like this. To achieve the good ending, the player must get the cake ending for the following minigames. Number 1, BB's Air Adventure any night. Number 2, Mangle's Quest on night 2. Number 3, Chica's Party on night 3. Number 4, Stage 01 on night 4. Number 5, Glitch minigame on night 5. And number 6, Happiest Day. You must clear the other 5 games before you do that one. If the player has gotten the cake endings of the secret minigames, then after the Night 5 minigame ends, the player will be taken to a screen similar to the one from the bad ending, but this time the animatronic heads are empty, symbolizing that the souls of William Afton's victims have been freed. The 5th head from the bad ending is nowhere to be seen, even if the player brightens the image, and it should be noted that the positions of the animatronic heads match the gravestones in the Lore Keeper ending in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, heavily implying that those are the names of each of the souls that inhabit the animatronics. Brain inside Nightmare. In the Head of Nightmare's mode, you can see the brain inside of his head, which is a human brain, different to every other animatronic, and this could be symbolizing how the crying child's frontal lobe was bitten off by Fredbear, since Nightmare is a variation of Nightmare Fredbear, who is a variation of Fredbear. Breadbear. Breadbear refers to a photoshopped version of the Five Nights at Freddy's antagonist, Nightmare Fredbear, imagining what the character would look like as a non-Nightmare version created before the official release of the normal Fredbear character model. A Photoshop edit was posted to r/Five Nights at Freddy's in 2015 and inspired memes about how it looked, many comparing it to Almighty Loaf and deeming it Bread Bear. Burned Freddles. The Burned Freddles are unused characters from the Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted files, which would have appeared in the Bill Domingo series of the Curse of Dreadbear DLC. The Burned Freddles are, as the name implies, burnt versions of the Freddles. They are identical in appearance, but with burnt texture similar to burnt Foxy's, black and orange cracks in them. Burn Trap Chase Sequence. Burn Trap holds a lot of unused content within the files, including a death animation and data for a chase sequence. Calendars. You can buy FNAF-themed calendars with pictures of animatronics for each month. That's it. Chica is a parrot. I couldn't find anything on this entry, but apparently some people believe that Chica is a parrot, which is interesting. Chica, look at you. This was a texture that was similar to Toy Bonnie's, as when he entered the office, he would slide across the screen with you having to put the mask on to not die. This texture was presumably going to be used in the same way, but alas, the feature was never implemented into the final game. Chipper haunts the whole series. According to Cawthon, Chipper, a character from one of his previous games, Chipper and Sons Lumber Co., haunts the entire FNAF series to this day. It's not elaborated on. Chompers. Chompers is a cancelled FNAF fanverse pitch. User/ElementalDuck on Reddit gave this summary of why it was cancelled. Quote, "So you got these three dudes, Ultra Knight, the creator, Ramanov, and some other dude, and they had a really close connection to the other popular fan game developers such as Emil Mako and King Carter and Candies and Popgo's creators, respectively. The thing is, they had a chat in which they shared leaks about many fan games such as Candies 4 or Popgo's Evergreen, and they talked in this chat about leaking this info to the public eye, and I think they also doxed some people and had private pictures of Scott and his kids, and I think, if I can recall correctly, they threatened the respective creators with leaking them, and Kane told Scott about this, and he canceled Chompers for the Fanverse initiative. When the team became aware of this, they began to dissolve, and Euro posted an incomplete version of the game with some developer commentary. Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental. Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental, owned by Fazbear Entertainment Inc. and previously Afton Robotics LLC, is the main location in which Five Nights at Freddy's sister location takes place. Colossal is a reused model from Chipper and Sons Lumber Co. Colossal is a colossal squid enemy and one of the multiple enemies encountered in FNAF World. It is encountered in Lilygear Lake. Colossal has an appearance that resembles a giant squid, colored light gray with narrowed blue eyelids and red irises. He has a total of 8, although one seems to be hidden, long whip-like tentacles. Colossal's model was recycled from the character Squiddy in Scott's previous game, Chipper and Sons Lumber Co., along with Crabapple, albeit retextured. Crying Children posters. Rarely in the East Hall, the posters from the wall will be replaced with drawn "It's Me" texts or crudely drawn faces of children crying in a similar style to that of Edward Munch's Des Chats de Nature. Note that such hallucinations cannot occur if Freddy or Chica are in the camera feed. Cursed Haunting. This entry refers to a piece of cut content from FNAF World. Files for unlocking a red chip called Cursed Haunting are stored between the unlock screens for Pizza Fury and Block Unscrew. The chip itself, however, doesn't exist in the files. Presumably it would have used Haunting on all enemies from start of the battle, or else a Ghost Freddy would appear and stun the enemy occasionally. The chip may have been replaced with the green chip Quick Start Party, which stuns enemies for the first few seconds of the battle. The Regular Sauce. The Regular Sauce is a YouTuber who makes FNAF videos, with his most popular videos being San Japan 2021 Springtrap Cosplay Contest Walk On and Taking Glamrock Freddy to the Arcade. His channel description says, "Hi, I'm Atriu. I build cosplays and other funny robot-like things. Oh, and I also really like Five Nights at Freddy's." Dabbing Chica. The survival logbook includes an image of Chica dabbing. It was paired alongside the other FNAF 1 characters, and they were doing different poses as well. And they were used so you could draw yourself next to the animatronics like you get a photo with them. Doofus. Doofus was the first game ever created by Scott Cawthon other than tests. It was made on the game-making software Click and Play, now known as Click Team Fusion, in 1998. The player must use the mouse to move the character, very much different from his newer games. Left click to shoot, as well as right click to use the extra weapon. Both right and left click to use your special weapon, with the player having 7 lives, white swirls being used to refill lives if lost. The plot is as follows. Doofus the dinosaur has ruled over Donostria in great success after having opened the Spazicor. The Spazicor was a one-way portal to the realm of Lord Grok, who was in charge of making sure universes got their fair share of evil. Doofus created the Spazicor so Donostria could toss it right back into Lord Grok's face. Grok, after having grown tired of this, decided to take matters into his own hands. Grok created Miatin and Prochin out of all his remaining evil for his attack on Donostria to destroy it. Egg Baby Plush. Egg Baby is a scanner animatronic who makes minor appearances twice in the Five Nights at Freddy's series. This entry refers to an unreleased plush of its likeness. Either Vanessa or Vanny is baby shapeshifting. This entry refers to a post on the r/Game Theorist subreddit by user/Curblan. It reads, Vanny is baby. What we thought. For the longest time since FNAF VR and AR, we've been led to believe that Vanessa was mentally taken over by Glitchtrap, making internet searches like horrific torture mechanics of the human body, but also messages like help me, with a voice actor being hired under the guise reluctant follower, and the Curse of Dreadbear content. We also saw how she had made her own bunny mask, seemingly reluctantly following in the steps of her brainwashing master, Glitchtrap, aka William Afton. One of the FNAF security breach endings shows Vanny thrown off a roof and unmasked to show a blonde girl looking like Vanessa, and then Vanessa still on the roof looking down and scared. Theory: Vanessa is being compromised by Glitchtrap, but she is not Vanny. Baby is Vanny, following in her dad's murderous footsteps. This is done by using Vanessa's log and details, all of the dodgy internet searches and hacks from her account, her access to the building, therapist tapes confirming that she works too long and Vanny or Baby has a room in the Pizzaplex to keep toying with things while Vanessa sleeps, and donning a rabbit costume like her dad. Notice how she dances like him in one of the VR endings. It throws you off because she looks so human, but she is Circus Baby, built to perform. And looking human, even imitating a specific human, is something she has been practicing quite a bit in the book. Something to do with hallucination discs and pins to replace real humans. Would that explain why poor Vanessa could be extra confused and blamed for more than she's even aware of? It might also explain why the screen gets glitchy in Security Breach when you see Vanny, but not Vanessa, the regular human. Why does she love the outside and hate basements? Maybe because she's been stuck in the sister location basement for so long before she escaped? And maybe why she seems to hate Freddy, not being trusted by him and ordering him to be brutally ripped apart. Wasn't Freddy the original animatronic designed and built by her father's partner or rival in the yellow gold guy, who's constantly been trying to help the children, just like Glamrock Freddy is doing now? There's even therapist dialogue about how she's being manipulated, and then the last therapist theorizes she's actually the one doing the manipulating. Very in line with Baby and how she lured you into the scooping room and sister location. And it might also explain why her game is called Princess Quest. Her dad, Afton, could be considered the king of all this, so she is the princess of murder. Lastly, in the therapy sessions, we hear a tragic backstory of a little girl whose manipulative father pushed her to give false testimony about her mother, giving him full custody, and causing said mother to commit suicide. The last therapist looks into Vanessa's story and confirms that she had 2 lovely parents and asked why she lied. But maybe this was Baby's story. A manipulative evil father, William Afton, and a missing mother, Ballora. In the FNAF 4 Afton house, we see the bullying older brother, the Bite of 87 victim younger brother who became Golden Freddy, and the sister who got scooped into Baby, Elizabeth, but no hint of a mother. And the song Ballora sings, it could tie in. It wasn't at the older brother visiting sister location, but they thought it was you, so she's asking her husband to save her a dance. Alright, that's the end of that Reddit post. Okay, yeah, tell me what you guys think. Elizabeth survived Circus Baby. I believe this refers to a Gacha Lifestyle YouTube video in which it's shown that what would have happened if Elizabeth had survived her encounter with Circus Baby. In the video, after she gets scooped, Elizabeth is badly injured but is still alive inside of Circus Baby, and eventually gets released. When questioned about the design feature of Baby having a scooper, William Afton openly explains the entire story of how he murdered a bunch of kids, and that he put that feature in Circus Baby so he could kidnap children and he could murder them in the scooping room after the pizzeria closes. He then apologizes, and the person he's talking to says he should instead apologize to Elizabeth. Enchanted Mob. This is yet another YouTuber who makes FNAF videos. At the time of recording, their last couple videos seem to be more about Poppy's playtime, and they unfortunately haven't uploaded anything for 7 months at the time of recording. Endless Tycoon. This is a fan game that's currently in the works on GameJolt. The description says, extended version of Freddy Fazbear Pizza Simulator by Scott Cawthon. The game will be the same like the Tycoon mode in it, with lots of new improvements in animatronics. It will be full 3D exported to 2D Click Team Fusion, the same as the engine of the FNAF games. And the idea of making it came when I won the Freddy Fazbear Pizza Simulator, and afterwards I was so disappointed because I couldn't work in my pizzeria anymore, XD. Endo Plush. Endo Plush is the endoskeleton of Plushtrap and one of the unlockable characters in FNAF World. It is a very small endoskeleton with a pair of green eyes and a pair of small antennae from the top of its head. It also has a green button on its chest. Innard's mask once belonged to another animatronic. Its entry can be traced back to a Reddit post on the Five Nights at Freddy's subreddit by user/MasterOfMachines98. It reads, "Was Innard its own animatronic once? Let's take a look. Innard's mask has faceplates. It fits perfectly on an endo skull. It was clearly designed for an animatronic. Do you think Innard actually is the OOS animatronic and he was simply fusing himself with all the other fun times? I mean, that mask has to have been made for an animatronic. Perhaps Innard being OOS resulted in it being hung as decoration." And someone responded and said, "I believe that is highly likely. The endo that chases you on Night 5 in the Ballora gallery clearly isn't Ballora herself due to vastly different teeth and eyes. Also, the fact that all the animatronics were scooped into Innard. My personal theory is that this mystery animatronic is from the old location that Baby talks about, which also passed on the idea of combining the sister location animatronics. I named it Circus Bernard." Epic Surfing Vids. This is yet another YouTube channel that posts FNAF videos, or should I say posted FNAF videos, since their last video was uploaded 6 years ago. Every FNAF jump scare in 1 second. This is a YouTube video by Cosbury where they showcase all the FNAF jump scares in 36 seconds, 19 seconds, 9 seconds, 5 seconds, 2 seconds, and 1 second. Family of Staff Robots. The staff robots are employee robots of Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, who first appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Many believe the table of 5 staff in the staff silo are meant to represent the Afton family, with the Magician Bot representing William Afton, the Nanny Bot representing a potential Miss Afton, and the Circus Baby Bot representing Elizabeth Afton, and the Server Bot representing Michael Afton, and the Headless Bot representing the bite victim from FNAF 4. Five Nights at Freddy's 4, The Final Chapter. The teaser for FNAF 4 said the final chapter, and obviously that didn't come to fruition. Five Nights at Freddy's World the Musical. This is a 2.5 minute long YouTube video put out by Logan Eugenie Clark. It's pretty much if someone tried to make FNAF into a musical. I'm kind of disappointed that there's only one video on it, because the song slaps. Five Nights at Freddy's Retrospective, the series. This is another YouTube video by Sagan Hawks that goes over every single FNAF game out there. It's almost 4 hours long. Five Nights at Freddy's The Untold Story. This is a fan game available on GameJolt. Its description reads, "It's been years since the Fazbear Entertainment closed its doors since 1987. Since then, the locals have been reporting some strange activity from the old Freddy Fazbear's pizza location. Some stated they heard screaming from inside the establishment, and some stated they saw one of the characters looking out the window. That's why we need you, Jacob, to gather as much evidence as you can before the company takes whatever remains inside the location and find out what's causing the paranormal activity." Five Nights at Memes. This is a fan game created by C_A 2019. On its GameJolt page, it reads, "Have you ever wanted to play the third worst FNAF fan game ever? Well, here it is. Along with that, there is also some changes, such as proper saving, which was not possible with the original versions, and in case you don't want to enter a code, as well as the custom night being integrated into the main game if you beat all 6 nights. Listen, these games are bad, and I'm not going to update them as I don't see any point in doing that. There's no actual description of the game, so I played it myself, and let me just say, wow. It's FNAF 1, except everything is replaced with memes and there's background music. Five Nights at Sonic's. This is another fan game exactly the same as the entry before, except instead of memes, it's Nintendo and Sega stuff. FNAF 2 marionette textures in FNAF 3. This refers to the fact that if you decompile the files in FNAF 3, you'll find some textures for the marionette, even though it's not in FNAF 3. Scott Cawthon said that in the past, he leaves things in the files sometimes because he knows people will find them. It could be that he left those files in there to imply that even during the events of FNAF 3, the puppet was still around. FNAF 2 original release date. The first teaser for FNAF 2, the grand reopening teaser, had an original release date of 2015, which means Scott may have wanted to work on the game more and add other features that were found in the files like the toxic meters and the lives. FNAF but British. This is a YouTube video posted by ThoughtYT where it states the phone guy's lines but in a posh British voice. Eventually the player is jump scared by Freddy twerking, and the video ends with Markiplier saying his line, "Was that the bite of 87?" but once again in a posh British voice. FNAF Fan-Made Model Showcase. This is a YouTube series done by Zarek the Dog in which he showcases fan-made 3D models of FNAF characters that people have made up. They're very unique and presented on a stage, spinning around. FNAF Horror Review. In an episode of FNAF Meme Review, Taco had seen a creepy video of Freddy running towards the camera. He had then said, "Would you guys like a one-off horror review?" This then led to a series called FNAF Horror Review on Daco's channel in which he watches creepy and disturbing FNAF videos and looks at creepy FNAF edits. In the third episode, Daco saw a FNAF VHS video by someone called Spectre, and he had then done a separate reaction video on a different VHS video made by Spectre. FNAF the Musical, the complete series. This is a 30-minute long musical featuring Markiplier, Nathan Sharp, and Matt Pat. Imagine a FNAF musical. Is it good? Is it bad? You decide. FNAF World and Ultimate Custom Night Connections. This is a Reddit post made by user/RoxasTheLusario on the Five Nights at Freddy's subreddit. The post is titled, "So apparently the FNAF World and Ultimate Custom Night have cross-compatibility," and reads, "I didn't manage to get any screenshots of this, so someone please confirm this for me and tell me I'm not going crazy. About a day before Ultimate Custom Night was released, I decided to re-download FNAF World. I absolutely loved that game. I've been playing it for the last few days and taking my time even after Ultimate Custom Night came out. Possible spoilers for both games ahead. Earlier this morning I finally got to the Pinwheel Funhouse. Then I heard about the OMC Easter egg in Ultimate Custom Night where you have them set at 1 difficulty. I did that, and once I did the little trick where you drown yourself in the lake, the game closed. Oh well, that's pretty neat. A few hours later I decided to go back to the FNAF world. Keep in mind, I only just got to the Pinwheel Funhouse and this was a fresh copy of the game, so no endings. I load the game and somehow I have the drowned ending unlocked. My first reaction was immediately, what in the world? And then I remembered, Ultimate Custom Night. I did the drowned ending on there. So either I'm going crazy, or you can in fact do the OMC Easter egg and Ultimate Custom Night to unlock the respective ending in FNAF World. Can someone here maybe do this as well to see if it happens to them too? And the comments on this post confirmed that this is the case. Forgotten Memories Roblox. This is a fan-made FNAF Roblox game. The description is as follows. After a group of friends take a security job at an abandoned pizzeria, they slowly start to uncover the mystery behind the abandonment of Freddy's Pizzeria. That's the description. Foxy.exe. To unlock Nightmarion in FNAF World, you would need to be a second-class horror game that requires his code, which is transmitted by his voice. The player controls Bonnie with the A and D keys and has to listen to Withered Foxy to find the key to beat the stages. You can get jump scared by Withered Foxy if you don't hide when he speaks or when one of his minions collides with the player. Withered Foxy's minions are Withered Freddy, who can randomly appear in front of the player, or the Kitty, taken from Kitty in the crowd. Nightmarion will be unlocked after beating this game. Foxy with a tail. This entry refers to the fact that Foxy in FNAF 1 and 2 does not have a tail, which is highly unusual. Freak Show Baby. When Scrap Baby was first teased, the community's name for her was Freak Show Baby because the background had a poster that said Freaks. Fredbear's Ultimate Custom Night voice lines were originally Freddy's. Scott had intended for Fredbear's recorded lines to originally be used in FNAF 1's Freddy's voice lines. Scott must have just repurposed them to seem more mystical and creepy in meaning, and Scott is reusing assets once again. Freddy Frostbear figurine sold for $5,000. So Funko made these figurines of Freddy Frostbear, and someone actually bought one at an auction for $5,000. I am in shock and awe at this entry. When I researched it, I thought it was a troll, but I was wrong. Freddy plush on strings. The teaser plush is the Freddy Fazbear plush shown in 3 teasers for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Simulator. His appearance in Ultimate Custom Night is based off of his appearance in the final teaser he appears in. Sometimes when you put down the monitor, a moving string will appear hanging off the ceiling in your office, only visible when using the flashlight. Hovering over a string will make you cut it, and you lose access to the global music box for 5 seconds. Fright Light. Fright Lights are a special kind of flashlight created by ThinkGeek. They are sold in public stores like GameStop and Walmart, and each one comes with 3 AAA batteries. Full-size wearable Freddy head. A lot of people online were selling blueprints for making your own full-sized wearable Freddy head with parameters to adjust it to your own head size, and others have made tutorials on how to make them from scratch yourself. German Funtime Freddy. During MatPat's interview with Kellen Goff, it was revealed that Funtime Freddy was originally going to have a German accent. Glamrock Freddy cosplay. This is an incredible cosplay of Glamrock Freddy done by The Regular Sauce. It's like he pulled it right out of the game itself. Even Scott Cawthon commented on the video, calling it absolutely amazing. Glamrock Freddy is possessed by Michael Afton. There's some speculation online that Glamrock Freddy is possessed by Michael Afton, and there are a few specific lines that heavily imply that he is possessed, like "I am not me," and referring to Burntrap as a he instead of an it, like Gregory states. Also, MatPat says so. Gregory is a robot. Some people in the fanbase think that Gregory from Security Breach is a robot. Just a few points to aid this view are as follows. Freddy calls Gregory broken, not hurt. Even if he's a robot, he knows English words, so that must have been deliberate. The fact that Gregory sees static whenever Vanny is nearby, the fact that the screen turns to static when Gregory is caught, and the fact that he doesn't feel the need to eat or drink, and he's never gotten tired. It's a kid running around a relatively big place, and you would imagine he would bring it up at some point. Halloween decorations. The Halloween update is a minor seasonal update added to the first 3 Five Nights at Freddy's installments. In the 4th game, this Halloween update is a special optional update that either introduces new unlockable cheats and challenges, or is a reskin that replaces the original antagonists with new animatronics. This update is exclusively available for PC and remastered mobile ports, but cannot occur in console ports. Implemented since October 31st, 2015, and the following release of the 4th game's Halloween Edition update, this update can occur once every year when the date hits October 31st. Although the player can actually get to see this whole change at any time by modifying the date to October 31st on their computer or mobile device. When the date is correct, the player's office will be automatically decorated with Halloween lights and a jack-o'-lantern for a little fun Halloween celebration. Other than being used as environmental props, they serve no actual gameplay functions. Hanging Technicians. In Night 4 of Sister Location, when checking out Ballora and Funtime Foxy, 2 technicians are hanging by ropes on the stages. This is one of the darkest things to be in a FNAF game. Harmony and Horror. Harmony and Horror is an analog horror YouTube series written and animated by Baddington. Inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's and the works of Squimpus McGrimpus, it narrates the story of a serial killer who murders his entire family and reanimates them as living toys with the help of a demon, all for the purpose of creating the perfect toy. The first season began on December 21st, 2019 and ended on October 22nd, 2020, with a grand finale that hinted at more to come. Sure enough, on January 31st, 2021, Baddington launched a video celebrating his channel's milestone of 100,000 subscribers, in which he announced that a second season of Harmony and Horror was on the way. Season 2 premiered on June 21st, 2021 and is currently ongoing. Help Wanted Multiplayer. In 2019, the user on Steam community forum for Help Wanted named Cottonwood144 sent an email to Steel Wool asking, "Hey, I have a question, will multiplayer be added?" It was found in the game files but was later removed, so I was wondering if it was just a scrapped concept. To which Steel Wool replied, Fazbear Entertainment has no knowledge of any alleged files. Hero World figures. Hero World figures are vinyl collectibles based on the Five Nights at Freddy's characters released by Funko. They are sold exclusively at Target since January 8, 2018. How audio enhances the horror of Five Nights at Freddy's. This is a video by the YouTuber Scruffy, which has 8 million views at the time of recording. He spends 18 minutes going into the different audio aspects of all the games and the history of the sounds themselves. Into Madness. This is an upcoming fan game. From various statements made by Scott Cawthon online, the game would be in the spirit of Foxy Fighters, or a mashup of games similar to Foxy Fighters, in the vein of Update 2, where mini-games are connected to create a single experience, and later stating it would be a compilation of several previous gameplay ideas in the same vein as Update 2, just a free game for the fanbase. He does, however, state that the game may not happen. Mangle had a parrot. This is a fan theory that proposes that Mangle's extra head was actually his pirate parrot. If Mangle kept using the pirate theme from the original Foxy with all the improvements around the place, maybe she got a new pet that was added as an extra head dressed as a parrot that was stuck on her endoskeleton. That would explain why there is one eye on the floor at the Kids Cove and why one of them is using an eye patch. The hook used in one of the teasers was probably removed because it was dangerous to children. Map Hive Room. This refers to an unused room with security breach. It's an arcade-like room with some cool lighting. Map Kitchen Large Vat Room Lights On. This is another unused map from Security Breach, and it's a large area that, despite being referred to as a kitchen, resembles more of a warehouse than anything. This was shown in some pre-release material, namely the reveal trailer. Marionette Hallucinations. This is a hallucination in FNAF 2. Occasionally, after the puppet has left, it may appear on the camera for a very short amount of time, and it appears in the main hall at Cam 7, usually flashing its face for short intervals, or sometimes even standing up. Mexican Staff Bot. This was a cut staff bot in Security Breach. It was a server bot and wore a sombrero with pink coloring. It was only seen in the tech demo of the game. MikeBot. MikeBot is the theory that Michael Afton is an android with synthetic human flesh like the Terminator instead of a normal biological human. It was created by user/Blackfoot Ferret on Reddit and popularized by MatBat. Mini Rena in the Popcorn. Rarely during the fake ending and sister location in Michael Afton's home, a Mini Rena can be seen popping out of the popcorn bowl after eating some popcorn and then immediately going down. Night 8 in FNAF 1. Night 8 does exist in FNAF 1, but it's a lot harder to get. That's why most people only talk about FNAF 2's Night 8. You pretty much have to rely on the game glitching in order for you to get access to it. Nightmare Fredbear slaps Plush Freddy. This is a YouTube video uploaded by Team Plays that shows the Nightmare Fredbear backhanding the Freddy plush from FNAF 4 and sends him flying into the hallway. The video is 5 seconds long, so if you have time, it's hilarious and definitely worth checking out. Nightmare is Shadow Freddy. Nightmare in FNAF 4 is confirmed to be Shadow Freddy, as in the game files of FNAF 4 he is literally referenced as Shadow Freddy. Still, a lot of the fanbase doesn't accept it. Nightmare Puffs. Nightmare Puffs is a rare Five Nights at Freddy's breakfast cereal that can be sold in FI exclusively, or FYE. The cereal is clearly based off the cereal brand Cocoa Puffs. The box includes a withered Freddy cardboard mask from the back and a short maze activity. The description on the FNAF wiki states, "Yes, it's real. This rare actual cereal is based on Scott Cawthon's hit video game Five Nights at Freddy's. Are you brave enough to endure the Nightmare Puffs?" These are actual cocoa munchies made from sweetened corn cereal and made with real cocoa. This limited edition cereal is extremely rare and perfect collector's item gift for your hardcore gamer. No place to run and exactly one place to hide. This was a teaser for FNAF 2 posted to scottgames.com that showed a picture of the view of inside of the Freddy mask with the caption, "No place to run and exactly one place to hide," with a giant 2 at the bottom. Original Fazbear Frights No. 7 cover. This refers to the beta cover for the book Fazbear Frights No. 7. The cover has red letters with a black background and says Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights No. 7. Original UCN office. In development, UCN had a slightly different version of the standard office. Scotty realized he hadn't put anything FNAF 4 related into the office, so he had just placed down the green caterpillar toy on the desk in the background. Paper Pal in the FNAF 2 office. The Paper Pals are small paper plate dolls in Party Room 4 in FNAF 2. This entry refers to the fact that a Paper Pal can be seen on the right wall in the office. Photo Booth Mode. Photo Booth Mode, sometimes referred to as Photo Booth, is a part of FNAF AR that allows the player to take photos of the animatronics they have obtained. This was initially added during the Winter Wonderland event, but was swiftly taken down due to fans finding it lackluster and rushed. It was re-added with the Heartstoppers event and was purchasable for 4,000 event tokens. Princess Quest protagonist is Cassidy. This refers to the fact that if you decompile Security Breach and go into the Princess Quest files, you will find that the protagonist of Princess Quest is labeled as Cassidy. Puppet Steve. Puppet Steve is a YouTuber who specializes in unboxings. His About page says, "Puppet Steve is the master of unboxings. Join Puppet Steve and co-host Zombie Steve as they review and unbox Five Nights at Freddy's, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Minecraft, Baldi's Basics, Goo-Jitsu, Lego, Pokemon, SpongeBob, and so much more." And we can't forget about Puppet Steve's friends that like to stop by, like Plush Freddy, Plush Bendy, Puppet Alex, Skeleton Mikey, who is scared of everything, Lego Batman that loves to steal the spotlight, and the evil Snow Golem that wants to take over the Puppet Steve show. Toy reviews, video game reviews, movie reviews, upcoming news, and a wide range of topics are covered while adding in humor and skits. Pyrocynical Vanessa cosplay. This refers to a cosplay done by Pyrocynical. He's known for doing great cosplays, and this one only aids that reputation. r/FNAF Cringe. This is a subreddit where people post the freshest cringe from the FNAF fanbase. I visit the subreddit a lot, and I do find a lot of cringe there, although some of the posts aren't really cringe, they're just fails. Rick Astley silhouette and sister location. This refers to a silhouette and sister location that a ton of people have been obsessed with. The community jokes that Rick Astley's torso fits the silhouette perfectly, therefore somehow completing the timeline. Rubber masks. This refers to those crappy rubber masks you can get online, like places like Amazon and eBay. And they look like the kind of mask you wear, and within 10 seconds your face is already soaked because of the condensation from your own breath. Secret way to update 2 without completing update 1. In FNAF World, there are two versions of the game, the original having the main character roster, and update 2 adding FNAF 4 Halloween Edition animatronics. Chipper from Chipper and Sons Lumber Co., Coffee from the Desolate Hope, Purple Guy, and Anim Dude. You can unlock all of these new characters in Update 2 after completing the original game, but you can get the Update 2 section by walking through some trees in the left of the Fazbear Hills. Shattered Montgomery's Death Roll. The room spinning when Shattered Montgomery jump scares you is a reference to the death roll tactic used by real alligators. Sister location Easter egg found 5 years later. If you go to Ballora Gallery in Sister location, press 0 and 1 simultaneously on your keyboard. This will cause a small counter to appear. Wait for the counter to reach 5,000 and immediately press 1. This will cause your screen to turn blue, displaying 2 columns of seemingly random numbers. Nobody really knows what the numbers mean. Son's Secret Room. The daycare attendant's room is a secret location in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. The entrance is located in the Fazbear Theater, and it is where the daycare attendant resides before Gregory goes to the Superstar Daycare. To unlock the room, Gregory must use the Fazcam to take a picture of the 4 cardboard cutouts of the characters on the poster for Captain Foxy's Pirate Adventure, which can be found across the main entrance of the Fazbear Theater. Taking the picture causes the cutouts' eyes to illuminate. Taking a picture of all 4 cutouts unlocks the door that the poster is on, which will give you access to the room. Super FNAF. Super FNAF is a 16-bit graphic-style platformer game developed by LSFD Development. The game was released on the 23rd of October 2016, and features the original classic gang and a location from Five Nights at Freddy's 1. It is an adventure side-scroller with platforming elements set in the FNAF 1 location, focusing on the story of the 5 missing children who try their best to avenge their deaths at the hands of the Purple Guy. guide Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and many others to their victory. Explore Freddy Fazbear's and many of the other locations to find a way to end all of the pain they endured over the years. The Glitched Attraction. The Glitched Attraction is Five Nights at Freddy's inspired survival horror puzzle game. The description says, "Welcome to the new Fazbear horror attraction, where you will have to escape from the popular and safe animatronics of Fazbear Entertainment, complete the puzzles, and escape before time runs out." The official Five Nights at Freddy's How to Draw. The official Five Nights at Freddy's How to Draw book is a Five Nights at Freddy's activity book that was published on January 4th, 2022. The illustrator is Claudia Schroeder, and the description reads, "Learn how to draw all your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's characters, filled with all of your favorite characters from the best-selling horror video game series Five Nights at Freddy's. This How to Draw is packed with step-by-step instructions to create your own artwork of these terrifying creations. The gang is all here, from mainstays like Freddy to Chica to the twisted and glam rock animatronics, with 96 pages of drawing fun." The Pizzaplex was built on top of Pizza Simulator. Sometime after the Pizzeria Simulator location was burned down, it remains sunk down into a sinkhole. Eventually, the Pizza Megaplex would be built over that sinkhole, with it being located at Roxy Raceway. In addition to the Pizzaplex, new versions of the original animatronics, which are the glam rock animatronics, were also installed to serve not only as entertainers, but also as a rock band to be played on special events or during parties. The Taliban watching the U.S. deploy Freddy Fazbear. The Taliban watching the U.S. deploy Freddy Fazbear, or Freddy Fazbear Taliban, refers to a series of trash post memes about Freddy Fazbear from the video game Five Nights at Freddy's being deployed by the U.S. as an ultimate weapon to fight the Taliban. The majority of the memes are image macros about the Taliban in shock while watching Fazbear being deployed, which were popularized in late 2021. Toy Proxy, Big Toy Proxy. Big Toy Proxy is an enlarged version of Toy Proxy, found in the files of FNAF VR Help Wanted. It was most likely used as a placeholder for the Night Terror sections. He will walk through the duct system and will follow the audio lure. He cannot kill you by himself, and whenever he hits a wall, he will leave a large indentation in it, which allows other characters to traverse towards you faster. Ultimate Custom Night was originally a Pizza Simulator update. Once Ultimate Custom Night got too big for its own good, Scott designed it to make it a separate game altogether. Functioning Magician Staff Bot. The Magician Bot is a staff bot from Security Breach dressed in a magician's attire with a top hat, red cape, and a red bow tie. The Magician Bot was technically designed to perform like an actual magician, hence its name. However, this bot was incapable of physically performing magic tricks and only comments about it. It only speaks to the other staff bots from the auditorium but never interacts with Gregory. Unused Marionette Jump Scare Frame. This is an unused texture of the puppet's full body attached to strings. According to the MFA files in ClickTeam Fusion 2.5 program, this unused texture is named Puppet in Office, suggesting that the puppet was originally intended to appear in the office in a similar fashion to Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, and Toy Freddy. Vanny is a robot. Okay, this one's a long one. This refers to a post on Reddit by the user /RetroBeetle on the Game Theorist subreddit. It's titled, "FNAF Security Breach, Is Vanny a Robot?" and reads, "Don't misunderstand me. I'm not suggesting Vanessa, the reluctant follower, is a robot. I'm suggesting the robot character Vanny, the white suit that attacks the player, is a robot." The first thing that tipped me off was the Vanny and Vanessa statue that was revealed in November 2020. Vanny, the character we've been assuming is the new killer in a rabbit suit, is shown standing in the Pizzaplex. However, the security guard is shown kneeling behind her. Assuming the statue's title isn't referring to the person in the suit and the suit itself, then the security guard must be Vanessa, whose name we all thought was the full version of Vanny. At the time, we all assumed that this was just a way of showing that Vanessa, like William Afton, works at the mall most of the time, but disguises herself as a rabbit when she can lure and kill a kid. But what if there's a better explanation for this statue, and it doesn't have to break the laws of reality? What if Vanessa isn't the one in the suit, and what if it's a robot? Sounds crazy, right? I thought so too. But then I considered everything else we've seen in regards to Security Breach, and now I can't ignore it. The first piece of evidence for this theory is obviously the fact that both Vanessa and Vanny are in the same place at the same time on the statue, and I think it's safe to say we aren't looking at some kind of world-bending scenario where the same person can interact with another version of themselves. Need I remind you of the Fredbear incident in FNAF World. So there must be something else at play here. Well, we can look at the 2 trailers we've gotten for Security Breach so far for clues. Both consist of shots and scenery in the mall played over dialogue from Vanny. That dialogue is what I primarily want to focus on today for a few reasons. In the first teaser, notice how Vanny's voice keeps messing up at points. Why would the voice of a human in a suit be bugging out like that? Next, consider the line, "It was just a glitch." What could be malfunctioning here? And then notice the jump scare at the end and how Vanny's eyes appear to be glowing. What could cause a fabric suit's eyes to glow? Moving on to the second teaser, we have more glitching audio. Even more interesting is the fact that the voice seems to split at around halfway through the trailer, with the more noticeable part of the split sounding much more human than before. Why would there be 2 voices seemingly coming from 2 places? All of these questions, incidentally, happen to make sense from the perspective of the suit being worn by a robot. The voice keeps glitching because the robot keeps glitching, and further, the audio is split is caused by Gregory being close enough to hear both Vanessa and the robot. The glitch being referred to is with the robot, and the eyes are glowing because the eyes of the robot in the suit are glowing. What really tied everything together for me was one of Vanny's lines in the second teaser, "I see you." If she were in the suit trying to stalk Gregory, then why would she tell him that? She could easily sneak up and stab him without him knowing she's close. And I don't think she's bluffing to get him to move either. Again, notice the voice split. So what is she doing? Well, consider this. Maybe she can see him on the cameras. Think about it. If she has access to the Pizzaplex security system, then why wouldn't she take advantage of it? She could monitor the building and find any lost children, in this case Gregory, and control the robot and have it go lure and attack them. That could explain why there seem to be 2 voices. It's the same sound coming from both the robot and herself. In addition, consider how much tighter the security is at the Pizzaplex. If this is really supposed to be the safest place on Earth, why would she take the risk of wearing the suit herself and traversing the building in full view of the glam rock animatronics? She wouldn't. So she put a robot in a fabric suit to make it do the killing while she controls it from the security office. If she gets caught in the act, there's nothing to worry about. She's not the one in the suit, so they can't arrest her or even prove it is her. Not to mention the fact that the glam rock animatronics appear to be incredibly aggressive, points to clip of Monty breaking through gate. Clearly something is wrong with them, and I'd assume it's that they've been hacked by Vanessa and reprogrammed to kill anything they find. And if that's the case, then it gives her another reason to stay as far away from them as possible. All of it just seems to add up. It makes perfect sense for Vanessa to try to distance herself from the murders in this way, since she's literally got the voice of William Afton in her head, and he would certainly know what mistakes to avoid. It's a smart move on her part, and something I think Steelwool knew barely anyone would guess. There still remains the question of Vanessa's awareness during this, however. During the gameplay trailer, we very clearly see her helping Gregory, and unless she's a really good actor, her voice sounds genuinely distressed. This leads me to wonder if perhaps the security guard and the killer are 2 separate personalities, and Vanessa is completely unaware of what Afton is getting her to do. There's not a whole lot of evidence either way, but it's something to consider. And as an extra cherry on top, remember tape 9 from Help Wanted? In case you've forgotten, here are the first few lines. There was something that looked like a Halloween mask lying on the floor. I didn't understand. Ink must have spilled. Ink or oil? Add that to the mask and I have to wonder, was Vanessa working on her animatronic in the office? Could that have been a prototype Vanny mask and oil to use on a machine? Now look at this line from tape 6. The supply room was lit, and I didn't even notice Jeremy standing in the testing room as I walked past. The supply room was so bright, glowing from all the way down the hall. What could be glowing in the supply room? It couldn't be the lights, otherwise they wouldn't have drawn any attention, and it couldn't be Jeremy since he was standing in the testing room. What if Vanessa was doing something with her robot that caused there to be so much light? Maybe there was a power surge or glowing lights in the animatronic's eyes. In all honesty, I'm not entirely confident in the last part relative to the rest of the theory. Just call it my Starman theory equivalent. Am I right? Is Vanny a robot controlled by Vanessa, or am I reading too much into things like I always do? I suppose only time will tell. Welcome to Freddyland. This is a fan game available on GameJolt. The description reads, 5 Nights at Freddy's, Welcome to Freddyland gives you a chance to discover the only truth that has been lost. Someone died here, right here in this restaurant, and maybe their souls still wander to take revenge on people who did not save them. There will always be a lot of hardcore mods for you to try. Machine Puppet won't give you a chance to live and get out of this place. All you have to do is run and run before something terrible happens to you. William killed more than 5 kids. This entry is referring to the fact that it's confirmed that William Afton has killed at least 6 children, those being Charlotte the puppet, Susie, referring to Chica, Gabriel and Freddy, Fritz and Foxy, Jeremy and Bonnie, the one you shouldn't have killed, or probably Cassidy, and Golden Freddy and Fredbear. Withered Bonnie's eye color changing. In certain lighting in FNAF 2, Withered Bonnie's eye color changes from red to white, and most iconically, when he is in the left air vent. It is unknown if this is an error on Scott's part, or just a lighting issue. FNAF 3 The Musical. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 The Musical is the 27th video game musical released by Lugeny on the 19th of March 2015. It is a musical parody retelling the events of the 2015 video game Five Nights at Freddy's 3. It is a parody of the song Addicted to You by Avicii. And that's it for Tier 3. Tiers 4, 5, and 6 are going to be just about as long as this one was, so it's once again going to take a few days to pump out, but it definitely won't be more than a week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.